Chapter 1. Saturday, May 10th. Day 20 of the world. Zevin al-Zarek in the dwarven capital of Erok Nur. Running pod diagnostic. Complete. Synchronizing controller units. Complete. Neurosynchronization. Complete. Initializing virtual environment. This is complete fucking bullshit, Zevin groaned, feeling a wave of exhaustion wash over him anew as soon as his body finished materializing into the world. Whoever heard of a 24-hour physically strained debuff effect? Opening his eyes in the dimly lit room, Zevin's eyes were momentarily drawn to the glowing red coals of the brazier burning away in the far corner of the room before his low-light vision kicked in. It was an addition that had somewhat surprised him, until he realized that the rooms and halls were a bit on the cold side. Throwing the sheet and blanket back, he rolled to a sitting position on the edge of the downy mattress. His shins immediately bumped against the massive bulk of Bright Claw, lying in the middle of the room's floor as a well-rested system message briefly flashed before his eyes. Bright Claw groaned at Zevin's clawed feet. Yeah, it does suck, even with this well-rested buff, Zevin agreed, calling up his HUD and popping open the additional status effect sub-window. It showed the physically strained status effect still had another 10 hours left to go. He swore that if not for the negative debuffs effect to his attributes being halved by the well-rested buff, he would still be as messed up as he'd been when they'd first arrived in Erok Nur. Bright Claw miserably asked, lifting his barrel-shaped head to pleadingly look into Zevin's eyes. That's a good question, Zevin harumphed unhappily, reaching through his companion link to try to get a feel for Nahi. He was still far away, towards the northeast, but at least she seemed to have stopped moving. Not that he could do much about it right now. That damned old dwarf was going to cost him an entire day at this rate. But I don't see us heading out in our current condition. And besides, he leaned forward to give the Grizzhawk a few loving thumps on the back. We need to go shopping for travel supplies and get some upgraded gear. Huh? Bright Claw asked, cocking his head to the side. Maybe, you big teddy bear, Zevin said with a laugh. We'll just have to see what they have available for Grizzhawks. His face took on a more somber look. Besides, I still have to see if this Avna Hammertoe can really repair my spirit Lochaber of Chieftain Deung Mahalto or not. Because if she can't, we're going to have a few words. Bright Claw chided, giving Zevin a meaningful look. Look, buddy, I'm not saying that saving the kids was a bad thing for us to do, Zevin uncomfortably said, doing his best to explain the complexity of the situation to his furry companion. But, due to my spirit Lochaber being broken, all of my nightmare spirit shaman abilities are stuck at the level they are now, with many of my special abilities grayed out. Zevin had learned this ugly fact before logging out. If I can't get this symbol of power for my clan repaired, I am totally fucked. He shook his head in disgust. Hell, I don't even know if Nahi will still even recognize me as her companion without it. Bright Claw said, before morosely plopping his head down on his oversized paws. Oh, we'll figure it out one way or another, Zevin agreed before standing up and looking around the cozy room. Though, I have to say, this was definitely better than sleeping on the cold ground next to a dying fire. Bright Claw diffidently chuffed, closing his eyes. Trust me, it has its pluses, Zevin laughingly said, running a clawed hand over the inscribed rune on the nightstand next to the bed. Immediately, a yellowish light lit up the entire room, coming from two magic rough-cut crystals. The warm glow was akin to having two bright lamps turning on in a modern-day house.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.